I'm a beer hound. Ow! The love affair with beer.
So the Dogfish collaboration beer is also done with Three Floyds Brewery out of Munster, Indiana, and Sam must be on some kind of like series of collaboration beers throughout the world or something, but we were his Midwest sort of pick, and along with us were Three Floyds out of the Midwest, and the idea was that we would take an ingredient sort of indigenous or accessible from each state and put that into the beer. And Three Floyds really made it hard because they're from Indiana. There aren't a lot of like naturally cultivated or harvested ingredients appropriate for beer or that would work well in the beer that we chose. And so they had the trump card, which is like red popcorn, which actually turned out really well. And then Sam's recommendation for Dogfish or for Delaware was the beach plum. And then we did a little quick search and found that horehound is an indigenous plant to Michigan, not necessarily cultivated there, but we're calling it good. And then for those three ingredients, we decided that a darker beer base would work better. And the fact that none of us really do a lot of lager brewing, we decided to make it a lager. So we wanted to dial it down to a little more drinkable ABV. So I think we're close to 7% on that. And Tony, our genius brewmaster, decided that the way to process red popcorn was to grind it and then toast it. Although some did pop after we toasted it. But it adds a really nutty flavor, which I like. The horehound, the herbal component, and then the fruit is almost black cherry-like, which goes really well with a dark beer base. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of that beer.
And where can people get it?
We're going to sell this out of our pub only because it's such a small batch. So it'll be bottled and released from our pub exclusively.
If you had to compare Shorts to a band, what band would you compare that to?
Whew. Well, I don't know if we're as good as Wilco or My Morning Jacket, but we're just as abstract and universal as Ween. So, and maybe it's just because they're my favorite bands, I don't know, but the things that I like about Ween is they can pretty much cover all the bases. And so you've got anything from like love ballads to acid rock to country and western. It's like good old-fashioned rock and roll, and then some classics like the Argus, for instance, which is it's a multi-component phase song, like a lot of our beers are. So I hope to attain the status of My Morning Jacket or Wilco. And so if I can noodle a guitar like Nels Cline, or if I can make a beer as well as Nels Cline noodles a guitar, then that's the level that I want to attain. I do not know what the next quarter schedule is. Tony, do you know what the next quarter schedule beer releases are?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
After Key Lime Pie and Bludge in Your Eye will be Bloody Beer, Black Cherry Porter. Then we're gonna do Chocolate Wheat, Autumn Ale, Good Humans,
All the best fall beers.
and Publican Porter. You heard it here first.